Welcome Aquarius to your in-depth weekly forecast for week commencing the 15th of January for the Sun or the Ascendant. There's great stuff going on this week, but it does require an openness and an embrace of that more psychological side of life, with such a lot of energy in the 12th house. Mars perhaps stirring up some old stuff. Mercury could see you doing some research behind the scenes, taking soundings, perhaps connecting confidentially to people. It forges an amazing link, Mercury to Saturn, your traditional ruler, in your second house of everyday money. So that knowledge that you're gleaning at the moment, although it may not be out facing, it will be by the end of this week. And of course the Sun moves into your sign later on Saturday after it has that connection, that cazimi with the potent, powerful Pluto. What a time this is. So one of the biggest events of the year, of course, Pluto arriving in Aquarius. It did pitch up in your sign for 11 weeks last year, 27th of March to the 11th of June. It won't be in Aquarius from the end of this week for the rest of the year. It goes back into Capricorn in the retrograde from the 2nd of September for 11 weeks. However, the fact that there is 4 lots of influences in your 12th house is really a momentous time, because if you're somebody who has experienced exclusion, isolation, rejection, the breakdown in some very close relationships, if you've had a big experience with your spiritual world or even your psychological health over the last 16 years, none of that would be a surprise with Pluto moving through the 12th house. But also it could have seen you develop your work in the arena of psychology or philosophy, or understanding what makes people tick, or healing in some way. So there may have been huge growth, but it doesn't mean to say it's been particularly easy. But the link this week between Mars in house 12 and Jupiter in house 4, going on from their exact trine of last Friday, is still very bubbly. And it's possible that all that knowledge that's been quarried out in such a tough way at times is giving you so much more confidence about how to express yourself emotionally, something that Aquarius people have a reputation of a difficulty with, of being a little bit detached, good at seeing the overview, great at analysing other people, not so insightful about ourselves. But also because of the link between Venus and Neptune this week. Venus is in a very social part of your situation. If you do get together with people you do feel very comfortable with, you could find yourself opening up a little bit and maybe having quite a merry time. The quarter moon, however, on Thursday is in your sector of everyday communications, and this does require a bit of care, because there could be someone, just as you get to the end of this penultimate phase of Pluto in Capricorn, who's going to manifest the behaviour that you've been on the end of many times over those years. Some disloyalty, someone not really holding the confidence as you would like, or someone being a bit strange and weird for no apparent reason. And that may be because of that quarter moon, which is 3/12. Best to avoid social media if it drags you down, or local gossip, or anyone who you know isn't necessarily a person that has great energy. So that energetic understanding is what I feel has grown hugely for me. It's not necessarily in a polar black and white of good and bad. It's more who actually is good for me energetically, and I think that's the big thing to understand. But there may be one more thing that comes up with that quarter moon. But then Saturday, the Pluto cazimi, the last in the sign of Capricorn for 220 years. It's that powerful. But salute yourself for all that you've been through, all that you've learned, all the insights that have evolved. It could be that you've had an experience of Pluto which is not as brutal, particularly if you're more towards the end of Aquarius. You know, you're on the cusp of Pisces. It may have been a less tumultuous experience. But whatever your experience has been, as the Sun moves later on Saturday into Aquarius to be joined by Pluto, the thing you're going to appreciate straight away is coming into the present. You're going to feel more energized. If your vitality has been a bit lower, pretty well since Mercury moved into Capricorn on the 2nd of December, then with the winter solstice, the Sun moving into the 12th house, Mars moving on the 4th of January into the 12th house is particularly awkward, to be honest. But you're going to get a lot of enrichment and rewards in the weeks ahead, particularly on the 14th of February as Mars joins up with Pluto. Wow, that's going to give you so much thrust, self-belief and desire to manifest your will. You're coming into your own. You've done so much preparation. It's almost like a huge deconstruction and reconstruction's gone on, but it's been at such a profound, deep, and sometimes hugely sensitive way. But you're coming into the sunshine, and at the end of this week you can really turn up the afterburners and start to manifest yourself in the authentic way that Aquarians love being, which is being a bit different. You've worked out all the people who don't get you and really started to understand that it really doesn't matter, because it's about the people who do, and orientating your life in a way which is totally in touch with what really gives you the platform to be truly, truly enriched by your authenticity. It's been a real pleasure being with you. If you've yet to check out your year 2024 deep dive video, please see the link beneath this video. If you would like to ascend above this zodiac forecast and understand what year 2024 will hold for you in terms of your personal astrology, if you give me 3 pieces of unique birth data of time, date and place, or date and place if you don't know your time, I'll produce for you your transit forecast for the next year, which is how the planets in the sky are interacting with your natal birth chart. No 2 natal birth charts are exactly the same, and this information will give you searing insights into what you can expect, but also how you can plan your responses in advance. There's also 30% off, and in my special package you'll get your free zodiac, love, Chinese and Indian forecasts for all 12 signs for the next year. Please see the link beneath this video for more.